On today's episode, I teach you how to make your competitors irrelevant in under 7 minutes, and even a ninja thing I use to sell an extra 66 products to one person. I'm going to shut up now, so you should probably get into the episode. It's Monday. Well, if you're listening to this when the episode dropped, but either way, it's another Monday Minute, and I'm going to make this one really short because all Monday Minutes are short. But this one is how to make your competitors irrelevant. And I probably said that in the intro really quickly, but let me give you context. I can't control what your competitors do, but I can control what you do. And one of the things I say is I help people ethically build and scale their companies by outcaring the competition. And when was the last time that a customer had a horrible experience and recommended a company? Not that often. But when was the last time a customer had an amazing experience and stayed with that customer, stayed with that company, stayed loyal, did all those pieces all the time? And so the way that I say that you can make competitors irrelevant is by outcaring them, right? And so for example, let's say they have an Instagram and all they do is post, but they never respond to their customers. Great, go respond to their customers. You don't have to tell them to come buy your product, but if you answer their questions, they're going to like you more. That's a really extreme example. But I say you can't make them all irrelevant because sometimes it's a kick in the pants and they'll come, navigate the customers more. They'll come respond to the customers more. They'll come love the customers, but most of the time they won't. But that's a perfect example. And I'm going to give you a couple examples of what you do, but here's what I want you to do to remember. You can easily make your competitors irrelevant by going deep. Because a lot of the times, even in our own lives, we'll have products that might be inferior to a new product that came out. But because of the endowment, as Jonah Berger calls it, that we have with the current company based on a lot of inputs like the time we've been using it, how hard it would be to change, but also the depth of our relationship with that brand or that product determines whether we jump ship for the better product or we keep using the one we have because of the loyalty we have with that brand. And so think about all the ways in which you can connect with customers. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you looked in your account when somebody bought from you, bought one of your courses, bought one of your products, and you picked up the phone and you called them? And you just said, hey, thanks. I want to introduce myself. I'm the founder of the company. And you just bought, and I just wanted to reach out personally and say thank you. Or use a Bonjoro and send them a video. When was the last time you jumped on that call and you asked them a question about them, their life, their family? When was the last time you had your customer service department, when somebody called, ask them details to collect information? Like, we have notes in some of the companies I work with when somebody calls, and like, yeah, I've been calling, and I hear a dog in the background, and they'll be like, oh, do you have a dog? And they're like, yeah, what kind? And they'll write it down in the CRM, the customer, relationship software that we use, and then we'll send a thank you note in the mail. And we're like, oh my God, I hope Fido enjoys these treats and sends them there, right? You can ask them questions like, people buy from you. Use your email, use your Bonjoro, use your social media. Don't just respond to their comments, go deeper. Someone's like, oh my God, I love this. Be like, oh, that's amazing. Like, what are your goals for 2020? Like, what's one of your favorite hobbies? Or you slide into their DMs, but your job is to always go one step deeper than your competitors do. And there is a absolute guarantee that you win that game for all the right reasons, for all the right customers. But like, when you take the time to connect, don't connect where everybody else is, connect everywhere, right? People are so used to buying and getting an email receipt. Send them a video message or pick up the phone. Literally have a company phone, have a company iPhone, and don't even worry about apps. And when they buy, literally send them a personalized thank you text from the company phone, and you can have the CEO do it, the customer service team do it, like, hey, this is the company number. We just want to say thank you. We're so excited. You have an unlimited amount of opportunities to go deep with your customers. You have an unlimited amount of opportunities to add touch points that add depth and build relationships with your customers. You have an unlimited amount of ways to guarantee that they stay with you if they're the right customer. But if you do none of them work. And so I'm going to tell you this one story because it's a short episode. And so the way to make your competitors irrelevant is to outcare them. And some of them are going to jump in and they're going to care too, which is great, right? But I will go respond to people's Amazon questions. I will go to my competitor's social and I will answer their people's questions. Sometimes I do it under my personal account. Sometimes I'll do it under my business accounts, depending on how bold I'm being. There's other times where I'll be like, hey, I saw your question. I just wanted to send you a DM. No rush. Just wanted to answer it for you. And I've even been known to help customers use our competitors' products more effectively. So then they literally told their friends like, hey, I bought from this company, but they didn't help me use it. But George over here from High Speed Daddy helped me use their bag better. Don't buy theirs. Just please go buy his. And they'll literally sell our product even though they don't own it based on the experience they had with us. And so there's one company in particular, I had this bright idea and I looked at sales and sales were great. And I was like, hey, do me a favor. Pull up a record of anybody who's ever spent more than X amount of dollars in the company. And the record pulled up like 31 people. And the 31 people were all there and we all had their phone number. And we just noticed that one of them happened to buy 2 days prior and they bought 30 of this one product. And I was like, call her. And they're like, what? I'm like, call her. Pick up the phone and just call her and say, hey, it's so-and-so, the owner of this company. I just wanted to say thank you and introduce myself. And she's like, oh my God. And she's like, oh, you'll never believe I bought 30 of them because I own a small construction company. Well, small, I have 100 employees, but I wanted to see if they would like this product and I didn't want to commit to all of them, but they love it already. And so like, I just wasn't sure if I could stand behind the company. I didn't know what it would be. We're like, oh my God, tell us about it. She told us she was buying this product for all of her employees to help them work better. And then the moment we called, she's like, now that you guys have called, you know what? I'd like to just buy them for all my employees because now I know you guys are going to take care of us. And she literally turned around after that phone call and bought 90 more of that product, which that product was $68 per. And so we made her own coupon code and a special just for her to get it for that one time. But that would have never happened if we didn't pick up the phone. And so do not be afraid to meet people where they are. Do not be afraid to build relationships and go deep. Do not be afraid to take it from email to phone or phone to video or video to email. Do not be afraid to use all of the modalities and connection points at your disposal to deepen your relationships with your customers. But I guarantee you that if you always go one step deeper than all of your competitors, they become irrelevant. Or they become relevant by doing it the right way, and maybe they become people in arms. But that's the way that I see it. And so you have to go one step deeper and stop relying on automations and apps and do it intentionally with your team, with your groups, with your processes, and be like, what can we automate that doesn't require human touch so that we can have more time being in a relationship with the things that matter and being in those human touch elements. And so those are a couple ideas. It's Monday. I want you to take this whenever you're listening to this, but I want that to be your focus every day. How can I go deeper? How can I add another touch point? How can I surprise and delight? And the thing is that people love phone calls when they're not being telemarketed to or sold. People love phone calls when it's about having them feel seen, heard, and respected. So utilize the tools that you've created to go deep with your customers, to develop a stronger bond, to get intel by asking them things like, what are your goals? Like, what do you spend your time doing? Like, what's keeping you stuck? Like, why are you trying this now? What can we do differently? And then create solutions to those. And I guarantee you that your competitors will be irrelevant. That's another episode. It's time to cue the outro. I'll see you guys later. Or nope, I said this in the last one. I will see you soon, or you will hear me in your earballs. Now remember that relationships will always beat algorithms.